Ladies first.
Oh, no, Professor.
Everybody was in the right space. I mean, we're on a journey. Everybody was talking about an aspect of that journey. Let me do a quick thing on Ghana, because this thing in Ghana didn't just happen. Okay?
Yeah.
When Nkrumah took the lead in Ghana is when this process began.
Yeah.
Because one of the things he did was bring many, many people from scholars from the Caribbean and Africa to Ghana with him. So what became the political and social culture of Ghana was fashioned by people from the Caribbean, from the United States of America, and from Ghana itself. In 1992, when Panafest first started, I sit as an executive member of the Panafest board from its founding. We did a ceremony in Ghana. No, not that one. Everybody around that has been dying because you don't do something that's already been done to the end for the ancestors. But I won't go no further than that. But there was a ceremony that was done in 1992 where the Elmina slave dungeon, which is the oldest slave dungeon built in Africa, was declared as a shrine to the ancestors in the diaspora. The blood was spilled, the rituals were done. Other people came later for commercial purposes and tried to do something simple. But when the laws of the ancestors have been fulfilled, you don't mess with that. And I'll leave that there when I come to what I picked up from everybody, because it's what is the real deal. You know, I'm a priest in the Yoruba tradition. I'm a priest of Oya. I'm a former imam and a Hajj who spent 2 trips to Mecca. I'm also a priest. I am the high priest for the entire Western Hemisphere of the Order of Amun-Ra, for the Shrine of Hunefa. That don't make me anything except I've had a chance to look at some bodies of information. What we have around this table right now represents Africa in its totality. But the method of interpretation is where we get into confusion. The tools we're using to interpret. Our people studied cosmology and ecology. If you are not proceeding from the point of understanding cosmology, ecology, your personage and your relationship to cosmology and ecology. Let me tell you how simple it is to me, because my brain is a simple brain. I'm a farmer initially, not a fisherman. If God is omnipotent, no matter what language we use today, omnipresent, omnipotent, and supreme, then there's no room in any existing space, unimaginable as that is, for anything else to exist but it. Y'all understand that? If the divine, the Most High, the Allah, the Yahweh, the Elohim, whatever exists, then nothing else can exist. Then what the heck are we? We are no more than expression of aspects of that existence. And every single one of the religious books, if I was taught at City College, I taught theology for the Black Studies Department for 18 years. Not a single one say anything other than that. But theology has become so political that they don't teach the wisdom. It's like these beads we all wear, plastic and cord. Now you can dance with them all night. You can play with them all night. You can pour some water on them and set some fire on them and make it look real mysterious. But guess what? It's plastic and cord. Whatever energy arrives in it or from it, you put it there. This system of beading, in its simplest sense, was a way of retaining the African wisdom system because we had no other way to practice our tradition and our institution established. This is an institution of one of the most complex wisdom systems on the planet Earth. Each one of these beads represent a part of that wisdom school. This is about ecology, cosmology, the human being, and others' lives, having a relationship and understanding that we're no more, each of us, from the plant to the animal, to the air, to the water, we're all expressions of an aspect of one organism. And so I like the way the airway who's your friend country next to the Fon people, their word for the Almighty is Soberisa, the totality of creation itself. And so all of us are saying a piece of that story. What has happened, Dr. Wade Nobles wrote a book, it's called The Island of Me, Haiti's Unfinished Revolution. Because Haiti represents for us in this hemisphere one of the most magnificent explosion of reclamation of the African spiritual science of any other institution in this hemisphere.
Yes.
And he was referring to the revolution as being unfinished because he said, what we fail to understand, when we don't know our history, we can't remove the European mystery. So we don't realize our magic and our miracles. And he says, even when you enter the blackest skin and the deepest black study, it is the white man's mind inside of you that's fighting you, not something outside of you. And until you learn to recognize it and remove it, unembed it, you're not going to be able to reimagine yourself as the totality of creation. That's the best way I think.